Hello! So I have a history with the Dragon Ball franchise as a whole. I thought I'd sit down, we talk about it, because I'm doing the movies, I might as well have a little background history with the shows. So with that in mind, let's talk about the Dragon Ball franchise. We start off with Dragon Ball. I don't know much about it. I didn't watch that as much as I did like Dragon Ball Z. But I do know that it's about Goku, who's just a little kid who is living on his own because his grandfather died when a giant gorilla-type creature stepped on him and smashed him. He meets Bulma, who nearly runs him over with her vehicle, and he thinks the vehicle is a monster, but they become friends, and she sees he has a 4-star Dragon Ball. The Dragon Balls are, well, actually started with that. The Dragon Balls are special items that once you get all 7, you can make a wish for anything from the Dragon Shenron. You can get 1 wish. Later it's 2. And by Dragon Ball Super it's 3 for some reason. But, yeah. I'm not going to spoil everything. I'm just kind of going to go through. I don't know much about Dragon Ball, but because I watched it when I was a little kid, and then after a while I stopped airing it on like UPN in the morning. They used to play it before I go to school, and then they stopped airing it. And then they brought in Dragon Ball Z. I didn't know till later that they actually went with Dragon Ball till Goku was like a teenager, I think. And Dragon Ball Z continues that, because there's Krillin, I didn't know who that was, and then, you know, Yamcha I knew because they introduced him, but then they had like Tien and Chaozu and all these characters I didn't see before. And now Goku has a son named Gohan. And we find out where Goku came from. He's a Saiyan from the planet Vegeta, which I think is what it's called. And Raditz, his brother, comes to Earth looking for Kakarot, which is Goku's given name, his Saiyan name. And this is the start of the Saiyan saga, where it's Raditz, and then when Raditz is defeated, he says there are 2 more that are listening, and that's Vegeta and Nappa. And they come along, and once that's done, we transition to the Namek saga, where we go to the planet Namek, and we introduce the Nameks, which is what Piccolo, there's a villain in Dragon Ball, the Great King Piccolo, and there's like a good version of him, which is the Piccolo we know and love today, and his people are the Nameks. And from the Namek saga, we get the Frieza saga. We're introduced to Frieza, and the big battle between Goku and Frieza, and Goku becomes the Super Saiyan, and the planet is falling apart and gets destroyed, but our heroes are able to get off the planet, I think by wishing themselves off the planet, I think, to a safe place on Earth, where we get into the Garlic Jr. saga, which we'll be introduced to Garlic Jr. The first ever Dragon Ball Z movie introduced Garlic Jr. And this is this little saga, it's like 10 episodes or something, is the sequel to that, basically. And it's okay. And after that, we get Trunks and then the Android saga, where he says that he warns Goku that there are androids coming to Earth. He gives Goku this medicine for a heart condition he's going to have, or a heart disease. And then, he I don't know what that was. Androids show up, and Trunks comes back. Trunks is from the future, by the way. He's Vegeta and Bulma's son. Vegeta ends up becoming their ally, but he still wants to kill Kakarot, or Vegeta, or Goku, whatever. In the Android saga, we find out that these 2 androids that are going around attacking people aren't the 2 androids he was talking about. It's actually Dr. Gero who built the androids and another android, and then he releases the other 2, 17 and 18, and they release 16. And 16 is actually a different kind of android where he actually doesn't mind the human race. He eventually comes to help them, even though that he doesn't do much. And then, from the Android Saga, we get the Cell Saga. We get Cell as this creature from the future. After Trunks returned after defeating the androids, and as we find that, or Cell itself, after defeating the androids, and this time he returns to the future, and he is attacked by Cell. And Cell takes over the time machine. He goes back to get the androids, because the androids in the future are destroyed. So he goes back, and he gets the androids to become perfect Cell. 1718 eats. But Krillin falls in love with 18. She does eventually become human. And then they have a baby later named Marin, which is the same name as a girlfriend that Krillin had earlier in Dragon Ball Z. But no one ever talks about her. She looks just like Bulma, I think, but her name was Marin. After defeating Cell, which Gohan does, here's a spoiler: Goku dies. He sacrifices himself to destroy Cell. It doesn't work. And Gohan becomes Super Saiyan 2. And with the help of his father from beyond the grave, he defeats his father's son Kamehameha or whatever. He defeats Cell. And we get, what was supposed to be the end, but there's more. Because now we have a World Tournament Saga, which is the tournament, Afterlife Tournament Saga. And there's a tournament in the real world, tournament in the afterlife. Goku comes to Earth. Even though he's a ghost, he can still fight, I guess. And that leads into the Majin Buu Saga. And the Majin Buu Saga kind of finishes off the final episodes of Dragon Ball. So you got Majin Buu, Super Buu, Kid Buu, that stuff like that. An ancient creature bent on destroying. There's a Fat Buu, which ends up becoming good later after it's separated. Find out that the Fat Buu is a result of the original Kid Buu swallowing, what was it, Gran Yema, Gran Kai, I think it was, or one of this big old Kai, and that's how it became fat. And then once they separate inside Super Buu, they separate the Fat Buu from it, which, would it still be Fat Buu, or will it go back to being whatever happened to that poor Kai? I don't know. He becomes this brown. He becomes the Kid Buu again. There's this brown version of Super Buu, and then he becomes Super Buu after he swallows. I don't know. But he becomes Kid Buu. And it's finished. Goku saves the day yet again. He's brought back to life. Saves the day. And then we get Dragon Ball GT, which it was the first continuation of the story. In this one, it was Goku, who was wished into becoming a kid again by Emperor Pilaf, who was the villain of the original Dragon Ball show. He makes a first appearance in a while, and he wishes that Goku was as easy to fight as he was a child or something like that, and Goku's turned into a child. She's like, I didn't like. I'm like, why? Why'd you have to do that? I mean, Akira Toriyama wasn't involved. He was the creator of the show. He wasn't involved with GT. And it was just like, okay, they made him a kid, but then when he becomes Super Saiyan 3, Super Saiyan 3, he's still a kid, but then they invent Super Saiyan 4. And when he turns Super Saiyan 4, he's an adult again. And Goku doesn't become adult till the end. He becomes adult to the end. The ending is kind of weird. So we have this, what was later called the Lost Episodes. Is when they aired on Cartoon Network, they had one first episode that was sort of a a clip show, and then it cut right into the Baby saga, the general whatever. And Baby was this creature, and he took over Vegeta, and eventually Super Saiyan 4 Goku takes him down. And then we have the Super 17 saga, where there's two Android 17s for some reason, and they fuse together to become Super 17. Of course, he's basically fitted. Then there's the Black Star Dragon Ball saga, where the Black Star Dragon Balls are something that were introduced in this. Why they don't use the regular Dragon Balls, I don't know. But they were used to make the wish to make Goku young again. And they had so much time. If they don't stop, they don't bring them back together, get all the Dragon Balls bring together, the Earth will be destroyed. The Earth does eventually get destroyed, but they wish it back using the Namek Dragon Balls. Piccolo sacrifices himself to do so, but the Earth and whatever. But the Black Star Dragon Balls crack, releasing the Black Star Dragons, and it's about tracking them down, defeating them. The last one being Omega Shenron, and a fusion between Goku and Vegeta, which was not Vegeta as introduced in the Buu saga, but Gogeta introduced in Fusion Reborn, which is another movie. We'll get to that one. This is the Super Saiyan 4 version because, thanks to Bulma, Vegeta is able to go Super Saiyan 4. They defeat Omega Shenron, and the world, is at peace. Goku becomes some kind of spirit, and it takes off. There's a movie. We'll get to that one. It was kind of weird. Then, years later, they brought back with the Dragon Ball Z movies, Battle for the Gods and Resurrection F. They turned those into Dragon Ball Super, which I haven't finished, so I can't really talk about, but it's good. It's in the same spirit as Dragon Ball GT focused on little Goku, his granddaughter Pan, and Trunks, which his hair turned from purple to blue for some reason. I mean, his mother's changed too, because it's originally blue, and in one of the movies it's purple. I don't know, but the show overall is decent, and I've enjoyed all the incarnations of it, even GT to some point. It's not that bad. And Dragon Ball Super, I guess there's 10 parts to it. I only got the first 7, so eventually I'll have to get the other ones, but yeah. What else can I say? It's a good, it's a good franchise. I wanted to kind of talk about it a little bit, just to kind of fill you guys in. But yeah. So I'll be starting the movies now. My Dragon Ball shirt on and stuff in the back. This will change for when I do the movies. But yeah. So look forward to those reviews, and like, share, subscribe. Tell me your thoughts on the Dragon Ball franchise as a whole. Let me know in the comments below. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.